Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships, where in today's battle I'm featuring my newest personal damage record in the Tier 10 French battleship, the Bourgogne. And it is among my favorite Tier 10 battleships to play. When I was playing this, it was during the snowflakes, during the Christmas season. So I was like, let's take it into random battles and get some snowflakes. As it had been a while since I've actually played the Bourgogne, and it reminded me how much I love playing this ship. Because it is just phenomenal between her 12 380mm guns that have really nice high explosive shells. They pin, let me check this, yeah, 63mm. And then we have this armor piercing, which does 11,900 maximum damage a salvo. So we're going to take some shots off there at the start here. I think I was against the Edgar. I just came back after checking some ship stats. But it's always nice. You can even open up with the armor piercing here. And one of the things that's really phenomenal about the armor piercing here on the Bourgogne is that it is very much a cruiser killer type guns. So, and a fact that you can reach out with 24.8 kilometers range, and that's even without taking a range in 6 slots. So I take the main battery mod 3 in the 6 slot, so for a faster reload. And you get the main battery reload booster, where you can definitely do some definitely catching cruisers, catching battleships off guard, even destroyers, if you decide to utilize that reload booster. So we're going to take our time here. We have, as well as we having the enemy sub that we're having to deal with that's on the enemy team. And checking the ASW range. Yeah, 11 kilometers, that's what I thought, but wanted to check here. So we have a cruiser off in the distance. We've taken a shot at the Des Moines. Yeah. So we're going to bring him to the verge of death, and our friendly Clausewitz is going to give the punishing final blow. One of the things that is definitely a weakness on the Bourgogne is if you look at her health pool, only 74,700 hit points. So you have to be mindful, especially in the opening of the match, seeing how the enemy team sets up before you make any decisions to, let's say, push in and utilize your engine boost, which I've taken the... to check the name of that, the engine boost mod 1, which gives us a plus 30% engine boost consumable action time, which this engine boost already has a maximum speed of plus 15%, not a plus 8 but a plus 15, meaning that we can cover some ground really quickly. Of course, in addition to using, if you use a ceramic flag without utilizing the engine boost, your speed is 33.6 knots, so you can definitely wrap around on the flank very quickly, which is what I really like to do with Bourgogne, because once you are able to bust through in the flank, you're really looking for those broadside salvos that you can get off on the enemy team, where these guns just really begin to shine even more. Now, it'd be better with the Genon that we had high explosive loaded, just because he is quite a fragile ship, and would most likely just get over pins, find likely no citadels unless any of our shells hit the water and then punch into a citadel. But our friendly Montana takes out the Genon. So only 53,000 damage so far, but trust me, that number is going to increase as we move up here and closing a bit more distance and coming back in off the 1-2 line so that we can get our depth charges off on the enemy sub. Another thing we have to be mindful of course, is the Edgar, which I think he has like 13.5 kilometer torpedoes. I think they're longer. I don't remember, but we're going to get 2 citadels on him, boosting us up to 86,000 damage. So that's why I've been hanging on to the armor piercing, just in mind for the enemy Edgar. So we're going to slow down here, help out our sub, since the gearing is getting a little tunnel visioned. So that's one of the things you have to be mindful of in the game, is that you'll see a lot of destroyer players who get a little over ambitious in trying to kill an enemy sub, and then they just simply end up sacrificing their ship to try to kill your friendly submarine. So don't go for that. And we're going to get a broadside salvo on the enemy GK, which is also going to be nice, assuming our shells land. We get 5 pins, this puts us up to 101,000 damage. So you can definitely utilize armor piercing, not only the high explosive here. We're also playing with our speed and our throttle here because of the enemy Edgar. We want to be mindful of his torpedoes because we can definitely eat a massive salvo if we don't pay attention. And here, the enemy Edgar decides to push up, so we get our rear turret off. Yeah. So another 2 citadels on him, bringing us up to 7 citadels with our first kill. And the enemy sub still sailing around here, despite more and more of our teammates coming in on top. The enemy Venezia is also pushing in there. So we're just waiting a moment here to see if the Edgar got any torpedoes off, and then we're going to resume our push. One of the things I really like about having the engine boost in Mod 1 is just making our engine boost last so much longer, so that we can really play with it here and get us into even more position. And it is really wise to utilize as much of your main battery reload boosters as possible. This enemy GK still continue to be broadside to us, so we're just going to still continue to slap him with the armor piercing. It's not really a reason to switch to high explosive at this point if this GK is going to continue to give us broadside. Although some of our aim there was a bit off, as now we're down to 50,000, so we're going to use our first repair party. So really, as we pick up the high caliber, if you manage your hit points well, since this is among the tier 10 battleships, this is in the top running for lowest hit points among the tier 10 battleships. This ship is just absolutely phenomenal. She doesn't have amazing armor, but what she does do is that she punishes things really well with her main battery guns and her speed. And I wanted to look at something that I just forgot. So I was trying to look at some stats here. But if we go for a max conceal build, we get our concealment down to 13.15 kilometers, which is really helpful. So I would recommend building a full conceal build on your Bourgogne as we get more depth charges off on that enemy sub, because we don't want to have to deal with him later when he comes back out. But we're down to, or up to 175,000 damage as we take out the enemy sub, as he didn't have too much health left. We have high explosive loaded. So with the more range here, maybe we can get a fire on the enemy Ohio, but we're going to have to pay attention to Ohio's 457mm guns. As all salvo, we don't get anything off there. Ohio's didn't aim give enough lead. But with the armor piercing, one of the things I wanted to say is that our initial shell velocity is 830 meters a second, same as it would be with the high explosive here. So one of the things that what's really nice about Bourgogne is with these shells is that they don't take a long time to get to their target. They're just really consistent, and as long as you just aim well, you just let the guns do the rest. So this battle is wrapping up really quickly, so that's another reason why having the engine boost, we can get ourselves back into the action. But of course, having that 24.8 kilometer main battery gun range means it's very, we get to consistently keep in part of the battle. Now this Ohio decides he's going to turn out and away, because now he's basically giving broadside to our whole enemy team. So I went ahead and switched back to the armor piercing. So we're going to wait for this salvo to land, and then we'll try to get our rear main battery turrets off here, as we're definitely going to be drawing some aggro from Ohio, and we're going to be getting really close to his secondary firing range. But as we pick up the Confederate, he's melting and getting down really quickly. Immediately we switch to on our main battery reload booster as we take out the Ohio, as now we have a broadside on the enemy Richtofen. One of the things that's a bit tricky with the CVs is that sometimes they can be going a lot faster than what you think, but we aim the salvo decently well, but unfortunately salvo kind of lands mostly short, so we only get 1 pin out of that, and then we get 3 pins, and I'm like, come on, let's give Flimsy more. I want a pelt to put on the wall. That salvo connects even better with almost 15,000. This 2 shells look good? Nah, but they're a little low. So unfortunately, no mass explosion there as much as I was really wanting one. So a little bit of an uneven matchmaking perhaps for the enemy team. But as soon as we collapsed the flank, it was really easy to swing around and just punishing the enemy ships and cruisers in particular. So still having a very difficult time finding the citadel of this enemy Richtofen. And he's melting as the team is focusing him down, so I'm hoping this salvo will give me the kill, but the enemy Austin takes him out. So that's going to bring this battle to a close, and we'll go ahead and look at the post-battle results. So it's actually going to be 240,000 damage, and we did that so quickly in like you know, if we had maybe some more of our teammates died a little more sooner, or the enemy team hadn't folded so quickly per se, maybe there's even more we could have gotten out of this battle. But it's gonna be over almost 1.6 million credits with the Confederate and High Caliber, the 3 destroyed, and the 7 citadels. And that's one of the things I really love about Bourgogne. She has a wide horizontal dispersion and rather, I think, tighter vertical dispersion, but you just slap cruisers really well. So even in this battle being like 10 minutes and 9 seconds long, we're gonna get 2,700 base experience. Here you can see we took 47,000 damage. I mean, we were shot at only a few times, especially Ohio is gonna overmatch a lot of our armor everywhere. So that's gonna be really punishing, and we drew some aggro from the enemy CV as well. But you can see most of our damage was wrapped up in the armor piercing shells, and with premium count, we're still gonna earn just 1.45 million credits. So Bourgogne is a fantastic steel ship. She's available for 30,000 steel, as I'm going to double check and make sure I say that correctly. And I definitely do recommend the Bourgogne. I've done a video on that, and I'll put it at the end here. You know, Stalingrad's great, and there's just even more ships coming in. I think Stalingrad is actually the oldest steel ship in the game. So I tend to encourage people to pick up Stalingrad first if you haven't picked up a steel ship yet, just in case Wargaming was ever to remove that ship, which they normally give a 3 months update before, 3 months notice before they remove any ships from the armory. But if it's taking a while to earn and accumulate steel, then maybe that's worth considering. But Bourgogne is just a fantastic steel battleship. And so I hope you got a little taste of it in this battle, this video, and being my new personal record in terms of damage. So it should be getting pretty close when this video goes up to when I will be returning from the US and can resume a bit more of a normal video schedule. Is just doing these 2-3 videos a week. Kind of sad, but it's a bit difficult when away on an extended work trip. But I hope it gives you a little bit more of a treat, as there might be a week or maybe 2 elapsed in between me doing videos and coming back from US to Norway. So if you liked this video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And thanks to all my Patreon supporters. So until next time, take care.